It's time to start working on the equal length long tube turbo manifold for the 1.8 Chevy Cruze. Let's do it. Last video I showed you guys the custom LS coil mounting bracket that I had cut out. Well, I also put together a design for the manifold flange, which that came in along with it. Let me show you guys what I've got. Alright, first and foremost, again, thanks Matt, I really appreciate it for cutting out my stuff. I put together this design here. I essentially took the stock gasket, scanned it, traced it off, but kind of came up with my own version of a exhaust manifold, turbo manifold, whatever you want to call it. And if you look at it, it's pretty triangulated. Hopefully that will add a little bit of strength to it. The center hole for the header stud, this hole is just a round hole. The rest of these are elongated. So that way I could center this thing up to the head and the stainless steel can contract and expand. You can see that there is a little bit of elongation there with this particular design. As you can see, it fits up to the head really nice. Hell, you can even still see the casting numbers right here. Are those casting numbers or whatever's etched in there? This flange was cut out of 3/8 stainless steel, 304 stainless steel. So we're all set there because it is near impossible to find flanges for the 1.8 liter. But let me show you what else I got. I ended up getting this flange here, which I thought was a pretty good idea. I was going to use just the flange that Matt had cut out. I really appreciate you tossing that in there, but I decided to go this route, and I'll show you why here in a second. And this is a cast 304 stainless steel piece. It's already threaded, so that's awesome. What this will do is prevent me from having to weld up another turbo manifold flange, and it adapts from a 3-inch inlet to the T3 port here. So this piece will save me some time. I won't have to do any real grinding or porting in order to smooth out that transition. I also ended up getting this cast collector, which it is 1.5 by 3. The reason I got this because I figured this would be a lot easier of a solution as far as welding things up, rather than having to cut all this out of single pipes, fitting it all together. We've got this nice 304 cast piece that merges together quite nicely. I probably will end up cutting these down a little bit just to reduce this down to this little block here, so that way this is here and everything starts here, and so it's not taking up quite as much room because you compare it to the size of this flange. I mean, this thing's pretty big and I don't want to make the manifold too big. I ended up getting about 16 90-degree elbows, or 1.5 inch 304 Schedule 10 stainless steel 90-degree elbows. I'm kind of torn between two different designs, but I'm really not going to know until I have the engine back in the car to see what's really going to work best. I do want to build a support at the bottom of the manifold, so that way it will bolt up to where the stock catalytic converter will go, just to give it a little bit of extra support, because this will be a lot more weight just hanging on this flange. Also with these cast pieces here, and that larger turbo, those turbos are pretty heavy in general, but the way I figure this will work, I'll have to smash these down in order to fit in here. They'll come out and we'll have to just kind of route it up to this collector here. So this is going to be quite a bit of work. I may end up getting a section of straight tubing just in case I need it. There are a couple different designs that I'm considering. I'm considering this design here, and I'm also considering this one here as well. Which reminds me, let me show you the wastegate I got. Here is the wastegate that I did end up getting. It is a 38mm wastegate. If I need to add another one down the line to prevent boost creep, I will. But this was a fairly inexpensive piece from Max Speeding Rods. I do plan on taking this thing apart and cleaning it up just to make sure, because I could see a couple little machine pieces in there. So I'll have to go through, clean this thing up, disassemble it. It's a tile style wastegate, but it looks pretty good. And for the money, it comes with 14 and 8-pound springs. I imagine once I open this thing up, we'll see that there's probably 2 springs inside of this unit that lets you set that, and I'll initially set it towards where it'll run off of 8 psi of pressure, but we do plan on turning up the boost, so I'm not even sure getting a couple of these things is even necessary. And it comes with all this little flanges. We've got a couple clamps here, all of the hardware necessary to hook it up, and then our mating V-band clamps here, which are stainless steel as well. And I'll leave a link down in the description where I got all of these items. They were fairly inexpensive to do. This is something that I may offer for sale here in the future, depending on how things turn out, and yeah, if you guys request it enough. But I'll definitely leave a link down so that way if you're wanting to do this on a budget as well, because I'm very budget minded about this project. I'll leave the links below. And last but certainly not least, the little custom badge that I had Matt cut out because it was a little bit of a gag, as I mentioned in the last video where I was working on the LS coil upgrade for the Chevy Cruze, and this is going to go on there. I think just kind of set it off. People will probably ask, hey, what's this MC2 thing? So I don't know, again, it might turn into something or it might just be a gag. You let us know. And this will end up mounting somewhere on the tubing towards where I can kind of show it off. The only thing is I'm thinking I might have to get some straight pieces in order to, I don't know, it just depends on which direction I go and how everything kind of fits under the hood. So in order to even start this, I will have to have the engine in the car, which everything will be out of the machine shop pretty soon. We'll start doing a step-by-step vlog of me putting the engine together and how I will go about getting the power that I end up with. But I have to wait to get it in the car so I can make sure it's not too close to the fans or the condenser hoses for the AC, because your boy's got to retain some AC in this hot Houston heat. It is still muggy and it is almost October, and I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm going to bug my buddy to come over here, bring his TIG welding machine and let me practice with it and build the manifold using a TIG, or I might just buy some flux core stainless steel welding wire and just weld it up that way, because I'm comfortable with the MIG and stick process. And to me, I know there's probably going to be a lot of buckshot and BBs and all that with the flux core, or if I did it with the stick welder again, but I'm not too concerned with that, because more than likely I will have to wrap the header up with some titanium exhaust wrap, because there are just too many plastic pieces underneath the hood between the fan shroud, the cam covers, or the valve covers, whatever you want to call it. So I'm undecided on that. Y'all let me know down in the comments what you think. Should I TIG weld it and see how things go and not wrap it up and just see if things don't melt, or keep it on the low buck side and just MIG it, put the exhaust wrap on and just send it? If I do end up wrapping it up, I'm gonna at least leave this part exposed, so that way it's kind of a, you know, it'll be seen. I think it'll be cool. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment below, even if it's just a hello, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Peace out.